Here's the most rage-filled Souls-like I've ever played. So I hope you guys do enjoy, and let's get into the video. We first start with a really cool cutscene. This is where you get taken away because you are a prisoner, and basically what happens is a demon comes and basically possesses you, and you go crash landing to your death. The end. Nah, but you come back alive, and the demon possesses you, but you're still alive somehow from falling like 100 stories up. Somehow you survive, but you slowly get possessed by this demon, and you have to fight it off and get into the game. Now, the combat in this game is really freaking cool. You can parry, you can dodge, you can even counterattack. It's freaking fantastic. This game's combat is amazing. They really took their time with each and every weapon in the game to be unique. But here's where I start going to my first challenge with this big fat guy. He's not actually a boss, he's actually a mini boss, and he does a lot of damage, and I had to struggle with him for a little bit until I got the hang of it and killed him. I went to go explore, found some chests, had to sneak past sleeping guards, and we got to the next big problem, a big giant Yeti, baby. Now, this Yeti was very easy to beat. I barely got hit by him, and I took him down quite quickly. I thought he was going to be a very big problem, but it turns out he wasn't that big of a problem at all, and he was actually pretty fun to fight against. After defeating the gorilla, I went to go wandering around and stumbled upon some monkeys to kill. After killing them, I found the next bonfire. Now, this is where things get more interesting. I go down in the dip in the little canal, and this dude yells for help, and I go help him by killing him. That's helping him, right? I went to go investigate to see what he was screaming on about, and there was a goddamn bear in there. Huge bear, and I beat him with ease as well. That wasn't very hard to beat him. And this is where I get to the very first boss you fight in this game. It is, my god, this was the hardest boss I've ever played. It took me 2 hours to beat this dude. This guy's the first boss, by the way. He's the first, and he made me so mad. He's not that hard to fight, but my god, his bullshit moves. But I prevailed and actually beat his ass. Finally, I beat him. I was so happy. Fuck you! Yes! After defeating the monkeys, you pass out and you get saved by this elderly lady. And you want to get rid of the demon. She tells you how to get rid of the demon. She tells you need to go up above and do 3 trials. And you'll get 3 blessings. And the demon will be expunged. So I journey to the first trial and actually get there. And we get a giant ass sword. And to actually get the sword, we have to complete the trial by defeating all the ghouls in this section. It was actually not that hard. I'm not the biggest fan of this weapon. Not at all. Not even by a long shot. It's too slow for my liking, but it gets the job done. The first trial is complete, and my blessing is this shitty sword. I journey to go to the second trial, and I have to fight a freaking big boar with this slow ass sword. But I finally get to kill the boar, and after that I have to fight a giant ass freaking bear. And this shows you how to do a counterattack. When they swing on you, you can actually swing back at them just as hard. I kill the giant bear, and we go to the second trial. And this is probably my favorite weapon in the entire game so far. And we get this really cool weapon. I think it's called a glaive, but I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comment section what weapon this is. But this weapon has to be my favorite weapon in the game. I can do so much damage with this weapon, and it's really fast, and it's just amazing. I love it. You can also upgrade it as well. There is also a skill tree that the game shows you as well, and you can do a bunch of different moves with each upgrade you do. That makes the game even better. But in the second trial, I have to defeat this other ghoul, and it was pretty challenging. He was hard, yes, but he wasn't that hard, so I defeated him. But for my blessing, I get to keep this great weapon, which is the best blessing I could have ever received. Now for the next trial, the third trial is the hardest trial of them all. I have to defeat the demon within me. It manifests itself, and I have to fight this next boss, which this next boss is freaking hard because it wants to take control of my body, but it needs to defeat me in combat. So we start fighting, and this boss is very, very challenging. It took me a very long time to beat this boss. I didn't think I was ever going to defeat this boss. It took me hours and hours to be able to even get close to it. But I finally beat the boss after hours of trying and trying and trying, and I succeeded. After defeating him, we agree that we are good as one, and we start an alliance with him. We get taken to his shadow realm and explore. After finished exploring, I went to go back to the same spot that I defeated him previously, and had to fight him again for some reason to get the other demon's strength. but I wasn't strong enough to defeat him. So instead, I went to Embers, the next section of the area. Now, this is where it gives me a lot of Dark Souls vibes with the Skelly Boys. I have to defeat these Skelly Boys around the area, and you have to actually hit them twice. After you kill them, you have to hit them again for them to actually die. If you don't, they'll come rising back up, which I learned the hard way. I get to this one section, I have to beat Unga Bunga's cousin, Unga Chunga, dude. This dude has a giant sword, and my god, is he strong. At the end, I beat him, but my goodness, Unga Chunga is strong as hell. I go to the Dragon Temple and explore, and I actually have to fight these dragon-scaled monsters, which they're freaking really fun to fight against. I just love the combat style in this game. It makes it so unique and fun to do. I go and explore a little bit more, and I found this bard dude that actually sells some items, which I was wondering what the gold was for, because I had freaking 54,000 coins to spend, and I didn't know what to do with them. After the bard, I went to go up, and I actually lead into the temple. And this is where I meet Defrona, which she's a lady that tells me I have to stop these spinning things with 3 levers around the map. So I go do that. I go around and lifting the levers everywhere. The first lever wasn't that hard to get to. I had to turn these statue things the right direction for it to activate. I turn the first lever and the first circle stops moving, and I have 2 more to go. The second one was a little bit more difficult to get through. I had to get through a bunch of lizard monsters and also fight a mini boss, which was a giant lizard with glowing white eyes. And he was a little bit difficult to defeat, but I finally defeated him and then pulled the second lever. Now, the third lever wasn't really that hard to find. It was just right there, so I pulled the lever, and the final thing just stopped moving completely, so I went to the center, and this is where I have to fight another Revenant. My goodness, how many Revenants am I gonna have to fight? This guy was actually very, very easy to fight. I drained his health freaking quickly, and I actually killed him. And it took me to this giant battle arena where I had to fight this giant lizard monster named Viper. It was actually really hard to fight. He was probably the hardest one so far, but I had a little buddy with me to help me with the fight. But it didn't really work out that well. I got killed over and over and over and over until I finally beat him after hours of fighting against him. Each character took hours to complete because I suck at the game. I've never said I was good at Souls-like games. Never said that. But I finally defeated him, and this is where I'm going to stop the video here because this game is about 60 hours long, and I'm not going to spend that much time playing the game on the video. So I'm going to play on my own time. But overall, this game is really solid. It's a fun game. The fighting combat is amazing. And I just have this rush of excitement every time I'm stuck on a boss and I defeat him. I feel all giddy and excited, which that's something that you want to look for in a Souls-like game. If that is in the game, then it's a fantastic game to play. I really recommend you guys play this game. This game's phenomenal. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, post notifications, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.